Hi guys, now we're going to be doing 4.3. So I'm going to switch it around right now so you can see it. So here's 4.3. It is multiplication of decimals and whole numbers. Now they are going to show you several different ways to actually multiply decimals. I am just going to show you one way, and that is the way that I just showed you in the previous lesson. The only difference is you could also do a distributive property, which might help you in the next lesson. So I'm going to just show you that just once, but otherwise I am just going to move on from there and just use my regular method. So it says, do remember that you don't have to line up the decimals. You just do that with addition and subtraction only, not multiplication and not division. And we'll go over that later. In 2010, the United States Mint released a newly designed Lincoln penny. A Lincoln penny has a mass of 2 and 5/10 grams. If there are 5 Lincoln pennies in a tray, what is the total mass of those pennies? So it's saying how much mass does just one penny have? So 1 penny is 2 and 5/10 grams. And they said how many pennies are on the tray. So if you go back in and you look to see how many are on the tray, it is 5. So it says use grouping language to describe what you need to find. We need to find 5 groups of 2 and 5/10. So, or in other words, 2 and 5/10 times 5. All right, so again, you're going to need a multiplication chart. If you're not real good on that, again, you should be really moving away from the multiplication chart and really knowing your multiplication by now. So you should not be so dependent on a multiplication chart. So here we go. It says to multiply, there is 2 ways. There's actually multiple ways, but the one I'm going to show you is the one that I was showing you yesterday, which is just lining them like this, like a normal multiplication problem. And then to look to see how many numbers are after both sets of decimals. Here's the decimal here. So there's no numbers after this one. There is 1 here. So that would be a total of just 1 decimal digits after the decimal. So when you find my answer, I'm going to have to just move it in once. All right. So 5 times 5 is 25. Carry your 2. Then 5 goes to 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then you move in your decimal 1 place. So your answer is 12 and 5/10. So that is your answer for that. However, the other way I want to show you is this way. Now, what they are doing here is they are like finding the place value and doing like the expanded form of this number. So they already did the 5/10 is just 0.5. They broke it apart. And this is just showing 2 in the ones place, which is just 2. So then they wanted you to do the distributive property here. You could go and do 5 times the 2. So it'd be 5 times 2, which is 5 times 2 is 10. And then the 5 times goes to 5/10. So that would be 5 times 5 is 25, carry your 2. And then I have to do it this way, otherwise it's not going to work out for me. So that's 25, carry your 2. And then this is 0 plus 2 is 2. And then move it in 1 place. So then my answer to this one would be 2 and 5/10. So now all I had to do here was just line up the decimals. The decimal on 10, if it's not given to me, is at the back. So now I'm going to add these, bring down the decimal. That would be a 5, a 2, and a 1. So that would be 12 and 5/10. Okay, so that would be the answer. All right, now I'm truly not a fan of the way that they are showing you here. So do keep that in mind. I'm just going to do the regular way of multiple. Oh, sorry, that's on the next lesson. I'm not a big fan of this. But this one is just basically saying if you times it by 100, it's truly just saying it would be this times 8. And then you can just, to find it, the normal way is to do 100th of it, which is just pushing it back 2 places. And then that is what is truly is going on. But that is why I don't worry about the decimal until the end, and I just move it in and just trying to skip a step here. So in this case, it says having a thickness of 135 hundredths millimeters in a dime is the thinnest coin produced by the U.S. Mint. If you stack 8 dimes, what would the thickness of that stack be? So what they wanted you to do is just find what the answer would be if you were just to do a whole number, which is normally what we do. Now the only thing is, and now you got to just move that decimal in 2 places because that's what it would have been. So if you move it in 2 places, it would have been 10 and 80 hundredths. All right, so next it says explain how you know that the product of 8 times 1 and 35 hundredths is going to be greater than 8. All right, so I do want to go over that. And then also it says, what if you multiply 35 hundredths by 8? Would the product be less than or greater than 8? So I'm going to go over those parts real quick. Here is what you should have said here. Now, how I explained it is like if you did 8 times 1, it is 8. Well, since 1 and 35 hundredths is larger than 1 whole, so this is larger than just $1. It is actually a little more than that. Now remember, this is if I multiplied 8 times $1, it would just be $8. Well, since I'm going to be multiplying by something that is a little bit larger than $1 by 8, the product should be larger than $8. All right, so what if you multiplied this 3,500 by 8? Well, would the product be less than or greater than 8? Well, it should be less than. And why is that? Because 35 hundredths, it's like 35 cents, is smaller than $1 or 1 whole. So when you find the product of it, it will be less than $8. All right, so now I'm going to go and switch back over. Here, this one just says, just place the decimal in the product correctly. So again, the quick method of what I use is just seeing how many total decimals. The decimal would be right here in this number. So how many total numbers are after the decimals here? There are only 2, so then we are going to be moving it in twice. So it would be right there, 47 and 67 hundredths. Here, how many decimal places would I have to move it in on this? Again, it is just 1 number after the decimal, so that means I'm just going to have to move it in once. So I'm going to move it in once from the back, and there is my answer, 7 4/10. Here, the amount of numbers after the decimal is 2. So then all I have to do is move it in twice. So I'm going to move it in twice, and my answer would be 96 and 70 hundredths. All right, next, I am going to be doing this. I'm going to do this very quickly. So to do this, you would again just figure out how many numbers are after the decimals. There is just a total of 2, so remember to move it into places at the end of finding the answer to this. So 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 6 is 18. And now you got to move that decimal in 2 places from the back. So your answer would be 18 and 96/100. Okay, next is this one. This you would just have to move it 1 place because there's only one number after the decimal. So then you go 8 times 5 is 40. So you put a 0, carry your 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 4 is 36. And then make sure you bring in your decimal 1 place. So your answer is just 36 and 0/10, or just 36 is fine. Next, in this case, how many numbers would I have to move it in after I figure it out? It would just be once because there's only one number after the decimal. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to just multiply like normal. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry your 3. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. And then 5 times 4 is 20. And then don't forget to move it in 1 place. So your answer is 203 and 5/10. Okay, I want you to try 7, 8, and 9 on your own. So please pause this and try 7, 8, and 9 on your own to see if you would get it right. All right, so you should have paused it, and just to save some time, I'm just going to talk to you about it. So 7 times 3 should have been 21. So you bring down the 1, carry your 2. Then 7 times 9 is 63, plus 2 is 65. So you put a 5, carry your 6. Then 4 times 7 would have been 28, plus 6 is 34. And then how many numbers are after the decimal is 2, so you needed to move it in twice. Here, how many numbers are after the decimal? It's only 1. So make sure you bring it in 1 place after you find the answer. So 6 times 2 is 12, carry your 1. Then 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49. And then you move that decimal in 1 place, and it'll be 49 and 2/10. Then here, it should have been 8 times 5, which is 40. So you put a 0 down, carry your 4. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 4 is 44. So you put a 4, carry your 4. Then 8 times 7 is 56, plus 4 is 60. And then how many numbers are after the decimals here? It is only 2, so then you move it in 2 places. So it would have been 60 and 40/100. All right, so then that would have been your answers for those. All right, now I'm going to keep on going. The cost of the to park a car in a parking lot is $3.45 per hour. Malik parked his car for 4 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Tuesday, and 2 hours on Wednesday. How much did he spend on parking in all? So it says $3.45 per hour. So then we're going to take that and times it by how many hours he went and parked. But there wasn't just 1 day's worth. It was 3 days worth of parking. So in order to do this, I'm going to be adding up all of these hours. So that was 4 on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, and 2 on Wednesday. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 comes to 9 hours. So what you're going to do here is you are going to do 9 times $3.45. So how many decimal places? It's 2. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry your 4. Then 9 times 4 would be 36. Plus 4 is 40. So a 0, carry your 4. Then 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 4 is 31. And then move it in how many places? It would be 2 places. So it would be $31.05 is what he would have paid. Okay, now next, I am just going to go right into it, into the next part of just giving your homework. Some of those problem-solving questions are just a little confusing, so I didn't think that was a great problems to be doing. So I am just going to go right into your homework. So let's go ahead and do that. Number 2, I'm going to do with you. In order to do this again, make sure you see how many numbers are after the decimal. It is just 1 in this case. So now I do 6 times 8 is 48, carry your 4. Then you do 6 times 9 is 54, plus 4 is 58. And then you must, from the back, move it in 1 place. So your answer would be 58 and 8/10. I want you to do number 3. I am going to do number 4 with you real quick. How many numbers would have to be after the decimal here? There are 1 and 2 digits, so I'm going to be moving in 2 places. So 9 times 2 is 18, carry your 1. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 1 is 37. So that would be a 7, carry your 3. Then 9 times 8 is 72, plus 3 is 75. And then you move it in 2 places from the back. So your answer is 75 and 78/100. You will have 5 and 6 for homework. All right, going over number 7, I'm going to do with you. Now there's not much space, so I'm going to do it kind of rather small next to it, but I am still going to show my work. So it is very important that you still show this. So how many numbers are after the decimals? It's just 1. So now I just multiply. 4 times 3 is 12, carry your 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 is 37. And then you move it in 1 place from the back. It would be 37 and 2/10. All right, now I'm going to skip this one. I think we're getting it. We don't need to do many more examples. You're going to have 9 and 10. I'm going to do this one with you. So this is 92/100 times 6. Again, how many numbers are after the decimals? There is only 2 numbers here, so I have to move it in twice after I find my answer. So that would be 12, carry your 1. That would be 54, plus 1 is 55, carry your 5. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. And then you move it in 2 places from the back. So your answer would have been 5 and 52/100. All right, so then I'm going to skip that next one. I'm going to do 13 and 14. I'm going to have you do 15 and 16. So those are the ones I want you to do for homework. Cross out 17. On the back, the ones I want you to do are 1, 2, 3. Now 3, just be very careful. It's saying what expression. So remember, don't give me the answer to that. 4, 5, and then here's 6. 6 says Tim has a box of 15 markers. He gives 7 markers each to 4 of his friends. What expression is to show how many he has left? So remember, he only has 15, so that's what he started off with. He is going to give away some. So I'm going to put a subtraction sign to do that. But it says he gave 3 markers each to 4 friends. So if he's giving 3 to 4 friends, how many total is that? That is actually 12, because 3 times 4 is 12. So therefore, it just said what expression. So that's all they wanted us to do, is just show this. They did not want to know the answer to that. All right, now I'm going to pause it and we will go on to 4.4.